In this video, you're going to be taking a look at Bom Vimdin for the vintage collection. Personally, I think this is one of the most unique action figures in the entirety of the TVC line. I have featured this character before on my channel in my top 10 TVC action figure video. I would recommend checking that out. I did that about 2 years ago at the time of this video. And even to this day, I still consider this action figure in that top 10 list, even with all the action figures that have been released since then, and some of the ones I reacquired from the past. It's just a very nice action figure, and not too often we get obscure characters like this in the TVC line, at least characters that are on its own card. Most of the time it's just main characters or troop builders, characters of that nature. But Bom Vimdin here, I think, is one of those hidden gems that people often forget about. He's probably a whole lot more expensive now than at the time I acquired him. I actually got this in a figure lot on eBay back in 2018 or 19, I think it was. And I got this action figure. What was the other ones? The Mustafar Lava Worker, that was the number 3 action figure in the 30th anniversary line. I forget what the exact name of him was. It was the lava miner, basically. And then I also got the panning droid, I think. Brand new. Actually, no, it was not the panning droid. I'm trying to think what the third one was. Well, anyway, there's 3 action figures. If I think of it, I'll mention it in the video. And I ended up getting all 3 action figures for about $26, and they were all brand new. So I think that was a really good deal for this. I imagine with HasLab Cantina around the corner, that Bom Vimdin's price has gone up a lot more since then. But between 2012, when I think he was initially released, it's either 2011 or 12, and then up to about 2021, 22, he was a fairly affordable and easy action figure to find from TVC 1.0. He was consistently probably $20 or less brand new. So that is what it is. So I really don't know anything about this character at all, and I can't really think of the exact frame he's in the Mos Eisley Cantina there. But despite that, this action figure is one of those characters where you can make your own backstory for him and make him be this larger-than-life character than he ended up being in the movie. He's obscure enough where you could give him his own name and then have him as like the hero of your own stop motion or something along those lines. He's got the look for it. Not exactly sure what his species is. Obviously he has a horn here. Kind of reminds me of like a Deveronian, but I know he's not that. He has those all black eyes there. Nice detailing in his face. There's a lot of wrinkles and creases and things like that. You see his ears there. A little bit of a point at the end. Then probably the most impressive feature about him is his studded jacket here. It's basically a studded leather jacket. And it's very prickly to touch. I'm really impressed how Hasbro did that. For being such an obscure character, Hasbro put a lot of time and effort to make this guy perfect. And the best part is there's no reused parts on this guy at all. Everything's totally new. Except maybe the cup in his hand. I'm not sure about that. It could be a newly sculpted cup, though. I'm really impressed with that jacket. It's something we don't typically see on an action figure. Something like this. Sleeves are very basic. That's alright. And he has the gray gloves. His pants and his boots, nothing too unusual about that. And you have his holster here, which is technically a removable accessory. But I don't really see the need to have to take that off. It's not meant to be taken off. Just remove his rifle here. See, he does have some pouches around. In terms of his articulation, he is super articulated. He has the ball joint at the head, which has a very nice range of motion. Get a side-to-side pose out of him as well. He does have hinged shoulders and elbows, swivel wrists, swivel waist, then swivel hips, hinged knees, and hinged ankles. Far more articulation than a character like this probably needs, but it's nice that he has all that. For accessories, he has quite a few. So he has a cup, or glass. It does have a blue shade around it, and clear up top. I think this is an essential accessory that all the Cantina patrons should have, and I think between 30th anniversary up till now, most of them usually do. It does have a pistol in this holster here, which, let's see if I can actually get this out. Actually, I have not taken this out since I initially got him about 6 years ago. But not a whole lot to say about the pistol. It's a pretty large barrel at the end there. It does fit securely in his holster. And you can get him in a drawing pose if you wanted to. Something like that. It's very nice. Then his rifle, which is a very unique accessory. I don't think any other action figures had this one before. It's a combination of shiny grays and some browns, and a gray strap. Has a scope. And you can get them to hold it if you wanted to. I'll have to work with his right hand there. His hand's kind of molded to the cup. But if you wanted to, you can get him to hold the rifle with two hands, I think. Let's do it like this. Or maybe he's going to be left-handed in this case. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So you can get him in a nice shooting pose. It's definitely got the articulation to accommodate for that. You can almost get him in an aiming pose too if you wanted to. Something like that. But I think he looks better with it strapped around him. You can leverage his hand to be able to keep that in place a little better. Something like that. Well, that's pretty much all I can tell you about Bom Vimdin here. We'll bring out some comparisons. Figure we looked at previously. The Wolfman. And we'll bring out a couple others as well. Greedo. Then Han Solo. All look pretty good together. Yeah, if you don't have Bom Vimdin for your collection, I would highly recommend them. Even if you're not a fan of obscure characters, even if your collection is mostly troop builders, Jedi, Sith, characters along those sorts, there's something about this guy that's just really cool. He still holds one of the top TVC slots in my personal view. One of the top best action figures from the TVC line. And I think he's pretty much going to be holding that title forever, quite frankly. The Cantina around the corner, I think a lot of people would appreciate a re-release of him. So hopefully Hasbro does that. He's probably one of the more forgotten TVC action figures as well. If you're someone that's just gotten into the line since its return in 2018, there's a good chance you might not know about this action figure. I think he's one that's often overlooked. Yeah, very nice action figure all around. Definitely one of Hasbro's highlights of 2011 or 12, whenever he was released. And I'm happy he's a part of my collection. Yeah, like I said, I know it was the Lava Miner, this guy, and I think it may have been the Panning Droid. Or an action figure that's similar to that. They were all together, and only about $26, so not a bad deal at all. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There'll always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all your support, and check out some links in the description if you haven't done so already. Of course, as always, thanks for watching.